Hey, this is Raise Radio, the holistic wisdom podcast for awakening women that weaves food and nutrition, traditional wisdom, spiritual expansion, so that you can feel your best, body, mind, and soul. I'm your host, Raina Lutz. Let's dig in. Isn't there some quote about planning to fail, failing to plan? I don't know. Something like this. So food planning eliminates stress for people. That's the whole point. I would not talk about food planning if it was something that was going to be adding stress to your life. And if it's something that you try and you find that it does add stress, then just don't do it. The reason that I recommend food planning is when a lot of people say, "Oh, I really like meal plans." I'm like, meal plans are so specific, and people don't realize that the stress of finding all the ingredients exactly this way and having it be like the correct portions according to the meal plan, like it's just too detailed. And we can't do something long term that requires that much energy from us. It's just, we're going to burn out. And after a week of following the meal plan perfectly, we're going to be like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. So then we end up treating the meal plan like a diet. And that's why I like to talk about food planning instead of meal planning, because food planning is we're just planning ahead. What do we want to eat? That's it. So, and then if you miss a day or two, it's just like, yeah, you just get back on the wagon after, like not a big deal. So food planning is when we're listing out what meals we want for the week so that we know what to buy, which is completely different from following a meal plan where we have to go and find the exact ingredients and create it in the right portions, exactly the way the meal plan says. So how is it going to save us time to have a food plan? Well, you're not going to be having the thought all day of what's for dinner, what's for dinner, what's for dinner. You'll just know, according to your food plan, what's for dinner that night. So it does save you a bit of headache, a bit of, texting your spouse. And you can do food planning however it works best for your family, right? So I've heard some people will do like the daily themes, like they'll have meatless Monday, Tuesday soup, Wednesday casserole. You thought I was going to say tacos, right? Tuesday tacos, Wednesday casserole, Thursday pasta, right? So you can plan it that way. Some people do, they'll do planning on Monday for part of the week and then planning on Thursday for Thursday through the weekend, or they'll do it for the whole 7 days. You can edit your meal plan seasonally and improvise based on your family's favorites. So the nice thing about having the sort of titled or themed days is that the rhythms of your family, the likes of your family can be repeated. And that just makes it really easy for you. Some people have wall charts or whiteboards or, put it up on their fridge. And it's also going to save you money because you're going to not waste any food, trying crazy new recipes or buying, weird ingredients for just one recipe. A lot of times it's like, well, this recipe calls for this one weird ingredient. So then you go buy it and then you never use that ingredient again because maybe you didn't like that recipe or, people in your family didn't like it. And so you're like, well, I guess I'm not just going to throw out this, spice or whatever ingredient it is, but then it just does end up sitting for a long time and not being used. So when you use, really common, regular ingredients, it takes ease away from you and saves you money from buying things that are outside of your norm. And, think about all the times you've thrown food out from the back of your fridge. If those meals were planned, they just wouldn't go into the garbage. You wouldn't be throwing your money into the garbage. And that's the most stressful thing to me about food waste. And people talk about the amount of food waste that's in, industries, which obviously is horrifying, but our own food waste in our own home, super not ideal, but also it's like we are literally throwing our money into the garbage when we throw rotting food. So, committing to a plan makes sure that we eat our food before it goes bad. And figuring out how much food we need to buy in order to make it through into your next grocery trip translate into you ordering emergency takeout less often, because those $14 lunches really add up super quick. So here's my amazing tools for your own food planning or your family food planning. So create your food plan, but don't be intimidated. Give it a try, see how it feels for you to do planning this way. Writing out what you want to eat for breakfast, lunches, dinners for the next 3 or 4 days or for the next week, and allow some freedom and change and balance and edit it as you see fit. Use similar ingredients for the week. So, if you're going to buy 10 pound of potatoes, and don't only use them once in the week, right? So you're going to want to have meals that will cook them all up and then use those leftovers for breakfasts or snacks. So in this way, you're putting food to work for you, and that's going to save you money, right? Giving yourself freedom and options so you don't feel trapped. So when you prepare your food plan, you can tell yourself, this week I'm going to have either a sandwich or a soup for lunch based on these ingredients that I have. So that way you don't feel locked down to any specific entree, because something about planning that stresses people out is the requirement to eat what the thing says. And it's never a requirement. You're in charge. You can say, I actually don't feel like that food. I'm going to make this instead. And the really funny thing about humans is that we do feel like certain foods, and other times we feel like other foods. We can't just eat the same thing every single day. Most of us like to have the freedom to say, I'm actually not feeling soup. I'm feeling whatever. Salad, or just like mono meals, like, I just want to eat like 4 bananas or a bunch of apples, or I want to make an apple crisp. Right? So we get to just grab what's kicking in the fridge and make it work for us. So pick a day of the week that you have some free time, skip the Netflix for a couple hours, and take the time to prep for the week on one day. This is amazing for people who work outside the house or are just, really, really busy. Obviously, aren't we all? And this way you can reheat the easiest meals on your busiest day. So you can just open the fridge or freezer and find quick, easy meals ready to go for those evenings when your schedule's really packed. And with this food planning that you've done, you won't have I'm tired as an excuse ever again. Pack your planned lunches the night before so you can't be too tired in the mornings, and it's just ready to go for you. So here's some easy ways that you can make healthy meal planning easier and faster for you. You can skip the homemade tomato sauce and stock up on organic brands when they go on sale, or not organic. Stocking up when things are on sale is really smart. You can buy pre-washed bagged lettuce. You can buy bulk foods and make 3 or 4 batches of your favorite recipe and store it for future eating. You can use store-bought salad dressings. I really love Little Creek. If you don't want to take the time to whip up your own. You can buy bags of pre-shredded cheese instead of grating your own. I've also seen people grate their own and then freeze it. And in the summertime, if you aren't a farmer's market goer, which I hope you'll change your mind on, you can purchase fruit trays from the grocery store, or just having fresh cut up fruit ready to go in your fridge so it's on hand. Stocking up in the summertime on extra fresh fruit and freezing it is really smart. And don't bother peeling all your vegetables. That's where a lot of the nutrients lie anyway. Plus, it saves you time. So you can do this. Don't get discouraged if you thought a chili or a casserole that would last all week gets eaten in 2 days and you're stuck grabbing subs or ordering takeout again. The more you learn about your household's eating habits, the better you'll be able to shape your food plans and prepare your refrigerator to be stocked with beautiful food that makes you feel good. Now pat yourself on the back for taking the time to listen to this and sit and do your planning. You're never bound tightly to any rule. although I know type A's do like that. Allow yourself the freedom to investigate, to experiment, and to play with food planning until you find a simple rhythm that really works for you. And remember that healthy, whole foods, living foods, fruits and vegetables, living foods on the table with the people that you love is one of the best gifts that you can give, that you can have. And if you plan, you won't panic. Thank you so much for listening today in wellness. I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. You can find me online at www.rainadonlutz.com.